Hi everybody, and welcome into another brand new episode of Caton'S Corner here on CTV. As always, I'm your host, Tom Caton. As you can tell by my outfit and the set, you can see that today is my annual Halloween show. Maybe you can tell my costume, maybe you can't. If not, I'll explain it to you. I am dressed up as the legendary Sir Elton John. I went to his concert back in September. It was a great concert, and I figured why not dress up as him this Halloween. My particular outfit, I tried to replicate his one white feather costume, outfit, whatever you want to call it. I know I have a picture of it. I think I did a pretty good job at replicating it. Feathers, glasses, all white. I know it's after Labor Day, but we'll let that one slide. But I definitely cannot wait for another great Halloween episode. It's always a lot of fun, this show, and I definitely can't wait for you to see what's in store for today. But until then, I need to take off these glasses and put on my regular glasses so I can see the teleprompter real quick. Yes, today's definitely going to be something fun. Now, if you don't have your Halloween costume picked out just yet, there's still time to do it. Picking a Halloween costume is so crucial because you need to choose if you want to be something funny, you want to be something scary, or anything else that you could possibly think of. Now, Halloween costumes today are very much different than they were a little over 100 years ago, before sexualizing pop culture figures or symbols became the new Halloween vogue. Halloween held a more traditional and somewhat macabre appearance. The pictures you're about to see here represent early and some a little creepy models of early Halloween costumes from the beginning of the 20th century. You see the first one here. I know those are people dressed up as rats. The second one, people dressed up as skeletons. And this third one, I don't even know what to label this third one, but it's some creepy baby thing. But yeah, those were the costumes not to have back in the day. But even though Halloween is a couple of days away, you still have a little time, but not much time to pick out a costume for this year. So don't wait, go out and get your costume. Well, aside from that, the time has come to transition to our next segment. Let's turn up the heat and discuss some Halloween hot topics. Why don't we? All right, first up, last year, Americans broke a record, for spending the most money for the Halloween season. A reported $10.14 billion was spent on Halloween last year in 2021. The amount is expected to be even higher this year, with an estimated $10.6 billion to be spent on Halloween. Typically, 65% of Americans celebrate this ghoulish holiday and will spend on average around $103 for Halloween merchandise. In 2020, around $6.3 billion was spent on costumes and candy alone. And lastly, Halloween is recognized as the second largest commercial holiday in the country, right behind Christmas. Next up, the final installment of the Halloween movies has finally hit theaters. The newly released film called Halloween Ends premiered in theaters across the country on October 14th. Famed actor Jamie Lee Curtis, who plays the famous role of Laurie Strode in all films, will finally face evil one last time. The premise of the film takes place 4 years after Laurie's last encounter with masked killer Michael Myers. Laurie is attempting to finish writing her memoir and decides to liberate herself from rage and fear and finally embrace life. However, when a young man stands accused of murdering a boy he was babysitting, it ignites a cascade of violence and terror that forces Laurie to confront evil she cannot control. In total, there are 13 films included in the Halloween franchise that spans 6 whole decades, with the original Halloween movie first premiering back in 1978. Altogether, the Halloween franchise has roped in more than $704 million to the box office over the last 44 years. For showtimes of Halloween Ends, be sure to check your local movie theater. Next up, an unusual haunted house to report about, but apparently the White House in Washington, D.C. is reported to be haunted with ghosts. The White House is perhaps the most iconic building in the United States, and since its completion in 1800, this building has been the home and site of former presidents and their families, a busy workplace, and countless historic happenings and public events. The United States' most famous address has had several reports of ghostly appearances, eerie sounds, and other paranormal activity over the years. The most common ghost sighting in the White House is the ghost of former President Abraham Lincoln, who has been spotted by former First Lady Eleanor Roosevelt, Queen Wilhelmina of the Netherlands, and former British Prime Minister Sir Winston Churchill. It is also reported that the spirits of Andrew Jackson, David Burns, and Abigail Adams also roam the halls at 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue. Next up, did you know that candy corn used to be called a different name before its current permanent name? Whether you enjoy this Halloween treat or not, candy corn used to be called chicken feed when it was first created more than 130 years ago. Although many argue that that candy corn does taste like chicken feed, that is not how this candy got its original name. When the treat was first created by George Renninger in the 1880s, it was sold to the masses by Goelet's Confectionery Company, now called Jelly Belly Company, at the turn of the century. Because corn is what was used to feed chickens, the creation was called chicken feed, and the box was marked with a colorful rooster as its logo. And last but not least, Halloween is recognized as the only holiday where it is acceptable to carve a pumpkin into a jack-o'-lantern, but just how fast can you really carve a pumpkin though? It's been reported that the average person can take anywhere from 30 to 60 minutes to clean and carve a pumpkin. That was not the case for a New York man named Stephen Clark, who holds the Guinness Book of World Records title for it. Clark broke the record 9 years ago in October 2013 for carving a pumpkin in the fastest time ever recorded at only 16.47 seconds. That's right, it took Clark just under 17 seconds to carve a pumpkin, and he now holds the Guinness Book of World Records distinction for the task. Clark took his knife and carved for his life, and in order to receive the title, the completed jack-o'-lantern had to include a whole face with eyes, a nose, a mouth, and ears, surprisingly as well. The expression did not have to be silly or scary, your speed was the only deciding factor on that. Well, that concludes the segment of Halloween Hot Topics. Be sure you tune into the next episode for another installment. All right, we're going to take a quick commercial break. More of my Halloween show when we return. Don't go anywhere. You're watching Caton'S Corner on CTV.
More attractions. More fear. Survive the clowns in Twisted Nightmare 3D. Experience more scares than ever before. Haunted Hills Estate Scream Park returns September 9th. Get your tickets now at hauntedhillsestate.com.
Welcome back, everybody, to my Halloween haunting extravaganza special show, whatever you want to call it. If you were just tuning in, you may have seen that my costume for this year, I'm dressed up as Sir Elton John. He's undoubtedly one of my favorite singers of all time. When I went to his concert last month, I figured I had to dress up as him for Halloween. But aside from that, my first guest, he was here on my last show. He is not only our Halloween expert down here in the Media Suite, but it wouldn't seem right to not have him on my Halloween show because that's just what he does. So everyone, please welcome John. Johnny. Johnny, what's up?
Not much, Tom. Thanks for having me on again.
Thank you for being here. I'll say, my Halloween show, it's always the most anticipated show the whole entire year. I just always have fun doing it.
I was going to say, I think we have more fun getting ready for your Halloween show than anybody else does for any other show.
Pretty much, because we spend all our time, I spend my time decorating. We got to figure out what our costumes are going to be. But speaking of costumes, I know you were explaining to us what your costume was. I kind of get it, kind of don't, but do you want to take a quick moment, explain what your costume is this year?
All right, so this year I went with Captain Marvelous from Go Kaiser. For those of you that don't know, that's the origin of where Power Rangers originated. So before U.S. adaptation in Super Mega Force, which was a complete failure. We're not going to discuss that. That's a whole lot of, that's a lot more time that I'll take up that I don't need to. But so with the Sentai series, they always come out with a movie for each series 10 years after. Well, this past December, Gokaiger's 10 years after it was released, I saw it. I took the costume to Steel City Comic Con. A lot of people picked up on it real quick as soon as they saw all the morpher with me and little dude sitting here with the Ranger key.
Okay.
I know it looks like a figure right now, but it is a key. And asked if I could do the roll call and everything, which of course I graciously did.
Did you win anything for it?
Unfortunately, I couldn't because Arian's a judge, so therefore it'd be kind of.
Arian, why?
She's mad she can't be here today.
I know she's usually here, but unfortunately her schedule couldn't allow.
Yeah.
But that's okay.
But we'll see her later when we go to the manor. So.
But I know Haunted Hills, the season's dwindling down here. This upcoming weekend is the final full weekend, and then Lights Out is next week. So how's the season gone so far this year?
From the times that I've been there, whether I was working as an actor or was showing up late to do a walkthrough after we got done with football or something, from what I could see, it's definitely been a lot of fun. A lot of new surprises, which you guys saw. There's some new additions, a couple subtractions of things you thought you were going to find in there that weren't.
I was waiting for some things to scare me, but then some of them didn't. Some of them did. I can't wait. We're going to see the video in a little bit, but of us walking through. But it definitely was a lot of fun this year.
Yeah, it's definitely been a lot of fun. I think probably my favorite thing this year is between the time that I spent in Twisted Nightmare and working down in the woods in a couple different spots. Twisted Nightmare, which I said in the previous episode, or the 3D haunted house. The fact that I can mess with people because it does throw you off having the 3D glasses on
right.
And then being one of the few people that can actually see what's actually there, it makes things so much different. And then when you put the glasses on, you can see why people are making mistakes. And the one being the painted doorway, and people have asked me which way, and I'm just telling them just to see if they'll try to go near it and realize that that's not the door.
Right.
That's my cruel joke of the season.
Nothing wrong with that.
And people will have actually looked at that with the 3D glasses on and walked up to the painted wall, or like, all right, the door's this way. Wait a minute. This is a wall.
It's just a wall.
This guy lied to us. But you guys saw all firsthand what I'm talking about.
Right.
Oh, when you, Lily, and John.
It literally did look like a door. I'm surprised we didn't fall for the trick, but.
Well, I'm also surprised Uncle Twisty didn't try to pull that trick neither,
right?
Because that's become 3 different actors have played Uncle Twisty, including myself. It's real fun to just see people's reaction, especially like the whole intro thing. The door gets kicked down, and you just hear a loud bang in an empty room with a stage, and the audio is playing, and it's that. The shock value that for me is, okay, who's going to jump and how big of a scare am I going to get out of this? And the biggest one I think was Laurel Highlands, was a Saturday. Laurel Highlands marching band came through. And I've said this on previous episodes before, my favorite group of people to scare are teenagers. Just because, and I hate using stereotypes, but it's true. Teenagers don't shut up. They literally giving me my timing. So between the audio and them talking, I'm like, okay, I've got about 5, 4, 3, 2. Kick the door in, and bam, and the whole group just hits the back wall. Also, if you're in the back of that group, I am apologizing for your friends making you acquainted with the walls of the Twisted Nightmare. I do apologize that. But that's the kind of shock value I'm talking about. And then they hear me talking with somebody, like I'm actually having a conversation and off stage in the next room. They're like, okay, we're going to go around the corner. There's somebody there.
Right.
Not a soul.
And I know usually then next weekend is the Lights Out event. Normally that happens 2 days, but it's only happening one night this year.
Yeah, we're actually not calling it the Lights Out event this year.
Okay.
So this year instead of Lights Out due to some unforeseen situations, we changed it up. We're gonna try do something different this time. It's still kind of like Lights Out, but we're calling it Night of Shadows.
Okay.
Same concept. Is you go through the haunt. No lights on. Glow stick, a handshake, good luck, pat on the back, and we'll see you later.
And I know like this particular event, it's more like a little bit more extreme in a way than the regular season, right?
Yeah, this is going to be there is a lot more or extremeness to this. I'm still learning all the details about what's going to happen, and because there's certain rules that we have to play by this year of what we can and can't do. But I'll find that out later on. However, the same concept goes as follows. Because we were told no contact this year, but we're going to still let you go through the haunt in the dark. For me, that's no problem. I've worked in so many nights hiding in the shadows and having to look through the darkness to find people and know when they're going to be coming through to get ready. This is no problem for me. You just sit in the dark and go, okay, I see 1, 2, 3, now scare. Or for others, it's going to be a little more of a challenge. And then I know, especially for people like the customers that come through, they're not used to seeing in the dark like a lot of us actors are.
Is it like pitch black?
Yeah.
Almost in a way?
Yeah, because the only thing we give you is 2 glow sticks.
Okay.
And you got to hold it out like this in front of you, and you better hang on to your friends, otherwise you might bump into something or somebody, and you don't want to do that.
I know typically like these kind of events, even at other haunted houses, do you make people like sign a waiver or something? Or
yeah, there's still a waiver that has to be signed, and you do that whenever you buy your ticket.
Okay.
So
just forewarn people if they do plan on attending.
Yeah,
that's what they'll have to do.
Yeah, that's the one main thing is you're going to need to make sure you sign that. It does say on all the posts about it. I think we've even released a trailer recently. It says you must be 18 or have a legal adult sign for you to do this. So
okay, I mean it makes sense. But other than that, I know this upcoming Monday is actually Halloween, October 31st. I know you told me some members from the staff, they are getting married on Halloween out in front of the house.
Yep.
Which I think is totally amazing. Do you want to briefly explain that real quick?
It's going back to last year. The couple that's getting married actually got proposed on site at the house, in front of the house as well.
Okay.
I wasn't aware of it until we were walking up the hill when a couple members were telling me, because last year at that point in time, I'm like, I gotta be getting costume. I gotta go gas up the chainsaws and start handing them out to everybody. Can this wait? Eat? And they're like, no, we gotta go up for this meeting. So can we please just wrap this up already? I want to get my routine going. And then the proposal happened out in front of the house, and was like, so wait, that was what was going on? They're like, yeah. And I'm like, okay, cool.
I love that.
Well, congrats to my friends Joe and Deja. I'm looking forward to seeing how the ceremony goes on Monday. They are having another one on Saturday, but that's for those who can't be here on Monday, obviously. So looking forward to seeing all that. Working with Joe and all them this weekend is going to be fun, and just because I know they're going to be excited about that, but at the same time, it's Halloween. We get to do what we love to do.
I say definitely we'll send our best wishes out to your friends that are getting married. But I know, so Haunted Hills, they're a little bit more famous because most haunted houses are only open during the Halloween season, but you guys are open about 4 times a year?
Give or take.
Because you celebrate other holidays as well. I know you do Valentine's Day, St. Patrick's Day, Halloween, obviously, and Christmas.
Yep.
Why decide to do that?
That's more of an Aiden question, but as an actor's point, ain't.
I mean, it is a little. It's definitely unique. I will say that.
It's definitely a unique style, and not many other places do it. Like, we've had the Travel Channel come through, and along with the local news networks of KDKA, ABC, WTAE, and I forget what Channel 11 is, but WPXI. Those three have all come through, along with all the local papers, and that we've been ranked in some of the tops of doing this. And it was just, we had an idea, and we ran with it. And Christmas was the starting point. We tried it once before, and it didn't go so well. But at the same time, it was a very rainy, muddy Christmas at that time, so it didn't work out too well. And then we brought it back a couple years later, and it became one of our biggest things where people are coming through. I mean, I've played multitudes of different characters of Santa Claus, the Grinch.
Someone has to dress up as Krampus, though, right?
Yes, we do have. Well, we have two Krampuses. We do have an
I know
actor.
you have those they have that animatronic one.
The animatronic that's out front. And then we've had a couple different actors dressed up as Krampus inside the haunt. I think Frank takes that a little too seriously when he gets to do that, but that's beside the point. I mean, it's a lot of fun, and we've done the Valentine's Day, which was a lot of different, which we've done the last couple of years. I've worked every single one of them since we started doing it. Just a matter of where I was located. I've been in one year I did the house, which is a lot more subtle. It was the House of the Vampires. There was a kind of like a murder mystery who did it thing. So and I'll come back to that in a moment. And then the other one over in the Chamber of Chills, which was we referred to as Cupid's Love Den, is a little more grotesque, a little more extreme. There's several other words I could use for that, but you have to be at least 18 to go into this one, and because it's that level of content inside. I mean, I played a demon in there because whenever I was told that I was the demon of the Love Den, I'm like, oh great, this is gonna be fun.
But long story short, definitely head on out to Haunted Hills because, like you said, you can go at least 4 times a year if you really want to.
Well, this is rumored. Don't shoot the messenger. Or we might bring back the murder mystery dinners in the summer, which was a lot of fun. The Hillbilly Holler is what we called it. Murder mystery with rednecks. This is you want to talk about a show? That's it. I've done it a couple of times.
Well, I know I hate to cut our conversation short, but we're going to wrap things up here real quick. As we film today's episode, don't forget this upcoming weekend is the full final weekend. You can head on down to Haunted Hills Estate Scream Park in Uniontown, located at 236 Rolling Hills Estate Road. Don't forget the annual Lights Out event, or as Johnny referred to it,
Night of Shadows.
Night of Shadow event. That is on Friday, November 4th. Do be aware, if you plan on attending, you must sign a waiver if you want to participate. But it's always definitely a lot of fun. It's definitely worth your time, worth your money to head on down there. And overall, Haunted Hills, they always take good care of us every time we go on through. But other than that, we are going to step aside for another commercial break. Don't go anywhere. More of my Halloween show when we return. Stay tuned. You're watching Caton'S Corner on CUTV.
More attractions. More fear. the Clowns in Twisted Nightmare 3D. Experience more scares than ever before. Haunted Hills Estate Scream Park returns September 9th. Get your tickets now at hauntedhillsestate.com.
Welcome back, everybody, to my Halloween show. Speaking of haunted houses, we just got done talking about Haunted Hills. It wouldn't be a Halloween show without showing a video of us walking through Haunted Hills and getting scared and all that fun stuff. I'm still joined with Johnny, but also joining me is our other good friend, John Sape. John, I love the costume, by the way.
I appreciate it, you know. A lot of time and effort went into this, you know.
That's all that matters. But definitely, so John, you joined, it was me, you, and Lily that walked through this year. Unfortunately, Lily couldn't be here today because of her schedule. But what were your thoughts about walking through the haunt this year?
It was, I had a lot of fun. I was, obviously, you'll see in the video, I got pretty scared, but I enjoyed it. It was a lot of fun. It was very nicely designed. I like how everything was set up, especially in the house. I thought it was awesome.
Besides the scares, was there anything that totally surprised you?
I guess for me, how into it the actors are. They're all super. Yes. A lot of them are super. A
lot of them are
good.
They stay in character. They commit to their character.
And I respect that so much.
Johnny, I know you can relate to that.
Yep.
But I say they always just do a fantastic job. I can't wait to see there's a video. But so with that being said, here is a video of me, John and Lily, walking through. Oh my gosh, Haunted Hill is a state screen park this year. Let's go ahead and take a look. All right, guys, we're here at Haunted Hills Estate Screen Park down Newtown with the guys always hooks up each year, Aiden and Hayden. Good to see you. Thanks for bringing us back.
Oh, likewise. It's always great having you guys out. You know, trying to mop up the pee stains after you guys get through. It's worth it.
We appreciate that. So there's definitely a lot of new stuff this year. We had Johnny talk a little bit about it, but do you want to tell us what people expect when they come?
Expect the unexpected is always what I tell people. That's kind of a worn-out, tired phrase. But yeah, we have a boatload of new stuff this year. Not only have we expanded the house and extended that, new scenes, you name it, we got it. But we also have the brand new Twisted Nightmare 3D behind us, replacing Experiment 31. That was done by, we've had artists such as Dutch Bahari from Skin Wars, Romy Stanley, Austin, all sorts of great artists that have been doing work for us, do all those 3D crumb depth murals in there. So it's a trippy experience, and it's different from anything else pretty much you're going to get out here in the Western PA area.
I know there's still a few weeks left, so I know, and then you have the annual Lights Out event the first weekend in November.
Yeah, we got some crazy stuff coming up by the end of the year. Every Sunday is Student Discount Sunday. Students and vets get $5 off their $5 off their general admission ticket with valid ID. And then we do have Lights Out, which is, I believe, November 5th, I want to say this year. One of the craziest events that we do. We're doing it a little bit different this year due to some changes. We're trying some new stuff, but it's going to be awesome. So look at our YouTube channel, see what we do during that usually, and see if you can take it. Come on out.
Definitely. If you can come on down to Haunted Hills State Screen Park in Newtown, please do.
Yes.
Not only do you get your money worth, but you also have a great time coming through here. So yes, definitely come on down. Aiden, I always want to thank you again for allowing us to come through.
Pleasure's all ours.
So all right, well, thank you. I wasn't paying attention. off this time. Any other year that thing went off. Lovely chainsaws over there. Yeah, I know they do. Ah! Oh my god! I told you. I can't see. Oh my gosh. This sucks. I can't see it. Okay, that was good. Dude, look, I can't see anything. I literally can't see.
John, stop vaping.
If I run into anyone or anything, I am so sorry.
Oh my god. I can't even see it. Where am I going? Maybe?
John, hold up.
Cancer of the nervous system. I love that word.
Bang, bang, bang!
I can't even see it.
Hold up. Let Lily catch up.
Yes.
Hold on. They change it up each year, which I like. Someone's coming up here soon, man.
Oh, there has to be, yeah.
It's the suspense for me.
Where are you at? I know you're here. Where are you?
Hold up. What someone will be coming up.
What is this music? I'm scared.
We're shipping up to Boston.
With your little Irish jig.
Okay, we've gone too long without a stare. Someone's coming up. Well, the chainsaws are coming up short. At least just stay tuned for that. Oh my lord. That girl in there was good.
She was good. I knew she was new. Why did I say Jesus at your house out there! I'll back that stuff in!
Absolutely mine. That's going to cost you your tongue and maybe his kidney. I didn't find that funny. It's very hard work, you know. Very done. I want your kidneys.
I mean, my kidneys are in good shape, so you can go.
Get off my ground!
And that's that video. Definitely love going through Haunted Hills. I want to give a big shout out and thank you again to Aiden Finnegan and the entire Haunted Hills Estate Scream Park staff for letting us come through. They take care of us each year. Definitely go on out to Haunted Hills this weekend or next if you can before the Halloween season is over. Normally we would take a commercial break, but that whole video is kind of a commercial break in a way for us, so we'll just jump into our next segment. Almost near the end of the show, so that means it's time to play a game. I have two familiar faces joining me in the studio now. We have Pam and Addie. Hello.
Hello, Tom.
Hi.
Or should I say Elton?
Thank you, thank you. So you guys want to take a quick moment, explain the costumes for this year.
So I do want to hear Tom pronounce the name.
I believe Nick Sirianni?
Nick Sirianni, there we go.
Okay.
Eagles head coach, go Birds, 6-0 right now, taking down the Steelers this weekend, hopefully.
Maybe, we'll see. I don't even follow anymore, so that's okay. You can root and gloat all you want. Pam, your costume, always a good costume, but explain what you are this year.
Well, thank you. It's not quite as nice as yours, but I am portraying the 10th Doctor from Doctor Who, our old favorite, David Tennant.
Okay.
Too bad the camera can't go out to my office because my door is a TARDIS.
It is pretty cool.
Thank you. And I have brought my trusty sonic screwdriver. So
we'll be posting pictures afterwards so we can see all of that. But I say, I know, Pam, your best costume ever was 3 years ago when you were the Pittsburgh pothole bus. And it timed out, like you said. It timed out well because I believe that happened just a few days before taping my Halloween show, so it definitely all worked out. But today's game is going to be something fun, something new. We are going to play Halloween trivia, true or false. So you have a 50% chance of getting the answer correct.
I like this.
So
Good
I'm
odds.
going to ask 5 questions. If you think the answer is true or false, you'll show me your nifty little signs that I made for you, what you think the answer is, and then I will reveal the true answer, and we'll go from that, see if you got it right. All right, whoa. First up, true or false, the mask used in the original Halloween movie is a mask of a celebrity. Do you think that's true or false? False. True.
I'm confused by this question.
Like the mask that Michael Myers is wearing, does it look like a celebrity? Is it a celebrity mask?
I'll stand with my answer.
Okay.
yeah.
Well, Addie, you are correct. I
Touchdown.
found this out due to a very small and short budget. The crew took a William Shatner mask for $2 and they spray painted it white.
That is William
so we
Shatner.
need to.
That's pretty cool.
So we need to go watch the original Halloween and to see, because I was blown away by that. So.
Who knew?
Who knew, exactly. I think it's cool, though, but it doesn't look like William Shatner, though, when you... I mean, I guess you can see it, but you kind of can't at the same time. Oh, well.
At the end of the day, William Shatner is the real MVP.
Exactly. Exactly.
True.
For him doing what he does at 91, 92 years old, that's incredible. All right, next one. True or false, the word Halloween is derived from a combination of the phrase All Hallows Evening. True, true. You both are correct. The word
Let's go.
Halloween is derived from a combination, it's from a Scottish term, and it's an abbreviation of All Hallows Eve. Turns out we've actually been spelling Halloween incorrectly this whole entire time. Did you know that? Halloween, there's an apostrophe between the two E's. Supposedly. But in America, we don't follow those rules. But, yeah. I know I've heard of All Hallows Evening and a bunch of other stuff, but yeah, definitely a lot of fun. All right, next one. True or false? Mexico's Halloween is called El Dia de los Muertos, or the Day of the Dead. True, true, across the board. Unfortunately, that's incorrect. That's false.
Tom, I gotta throw the challenge flag on you.
If you say so.
Do it.
No, El Dia de los Muertos is celebrated November 1st and 2nd, and it has little to no connection with Halloween. So
I knew it was Day of the Dead.
I know, because El Dia de los Muertos, it's basically the time where they celebrate people who've passed on and all that. So it could be a little connected to Halloween, but not really much, just celebrating people that have passed on.
I feel like my 8th grade Spanish teacher lied to me.
Yeah. We were both very tentative. We were
Possibly.
like, yeah, true.
I feel like that's something that I've been brought up in a class at some point
Yeah.
in time.
I mean, it literally falls around Halloween, but it has a little to no connection with Halloween.
Today we learn.
There we go.
You learn something new every day. All right, next one. True or false? Hocus Pocus was initially thought of as a horror movie and was to go by a different name. The original Hocus Pocus from 1993. Bam saying it's
I'll give
true.
it.
I saying true. You are correct. It's both true. So Hocus Pocus was initially going to be called Halloween House, and it was thought to be more of a horror film than comedy and Disney, family friendly and all that. That I was shocked about to find out. Because you look at the cast, you never think that would be a horror movie in any kind of way. But
I mean, the storyline you could twist that.
storyline a little bit, yeah.
Very-
I'd agree with
very
that.
creepy.
I would agree with that. But all right, last one. True or false, Halloween first originated 500 years ago.
Yikes.
This is gonna be guesswork
So
at
wait,
its
that's
finest.
1500, right? 1522. Sure. Sounds like something from the Middle Ages. I'm going to go with true.
In a way, but that is false, actually. Halloween
I found the pattern.
Halloween first originated more than 3,000 years ago, believe it or not, by Celtic people in Europe. And according to historians, Halloween can be traced back as early as 4000 BC.
As
believe
a
it or
Time
not.
Lord, I can tell you that the first Halloween was much earlier than that, but
Do you want the challenge flag?
you go with your earthly history.
Hey,
It'll be
that's what the
fine.
internet told me.
So
I know
it's
you can't
definitely
believe.
accurate.
I know you can't believe everything you read on the internet, but I will take that. But all right, well, Pam, Addie, thank you so much for playing.
You're welcome.
That's how you play Halloween Trivia, True or False. Go look up your own questions if you want. But I see our time is near the end. That concludes today's episode of my Halloween episode of Caton'S Corner. I know we have a bunch of people up in our control room wearing costumes, so if you guys want to come on out real quick, let everybody see your amazing costumes, because why not? Gather around behind me and Pam and Addie. Wow, there's a lot of people wearing costumes this year.
Got an interesting crew about to come in here also.
I love
Don't
it.
be shy. Just don't run in. Just
Oh my
don't run
gosh.
into any cameras. Pam and Addie don't bite. You can go behind them.
Come
The
on.
pimp's coming over now.
Just don't trip on them. Well, you all look good this year. But yes, that does conclude this episode of Caton'S Corner. I'd like to thank all my guests from today's show: John, Johnny, Pam, Addie. Of course, again, another shout out to Haunted Hills. Don't forget, tune
Making it
into.
rain.
You wait for me now.
Don't forget, tune into my next episode, which is scheduled to air in 2 weeks. And don't forget, you can stay up to date with the Media Suite on social media. stay up to date with CTV, WCAL, and Cal Times on all of our social media platforms, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. And I'm pretty sure that's about it. So until next time, don't forget, stay safe, stay kind, stay beautiful, and as always, have a very safe and happy Halloween. Bye, everybody.